during the time where I wasn't at the Bridge, I was at another church. My mom telling me that people that she knew were scared to talk to me because they thought I was going to be like I was on Facebook. They thought I was going to be super argumentative. My super like hardcore like views on politics or religion, they didn't fit into the box that I had created that was like, this is what a perfect Christian looks like. And they're just like, okay, well, I can't be around Austin because I'm a fail. I'm not going to live up to his standard. And I remember wrestling with that and being like, man, I just burned so many relationships based on these posts on social media that haven't changed anyone's mind yet. And the sad part was that I thought I was doing like the Lord's work of speaking on my views at the time of predestination or Christian education, whatever it is. I thought I was 100% right. And I thought me posting what I posted and being like super edgy and controversial and like just giving it to the man, I thought that was what God wanted. And then getting to a place in my walk with Jesus where I wasn't sure if I had been following Jesus for years. And a part of it was me looking at my social media and being like, this looks nothing like the Jesus I started following. Who have I been following? This is Into the Fray, a podcast about real Christians having honest conversations. All right, I'm Austin.
I'm Robbie.
And this is Into the Fray. I'm going to start it off a little differently.
Okay.
And I feel like I don't want this to be a podcast like a bunch of others where you don't really know the host or anything. So each episode from now on, I'm going to start off by just asking a very personal question that we both have to answer. And this question specifically, I don't even know the answer for you. Even though we've talked about this subject.
So, okay.
Yeah. But I knew the question, so I was prepared. But what are your top 3 favorite movies?
Oh, top 3. Tombstone, Gladiator. Maybe a sports one.
What is Tombstone?
Tombstone, Austin.
I've never heard of that.
Oh, man. Classic. Western. You got to see it.
God.
Yeah. It's up there for sure. Gladiator. Oh, man. I don't know.
I've never seen Gladiator either.
Rust Crowe?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. Okay.
My boss gets on to me all the time about that.
Part of your sanctification work, Tombstone, Gladiator. I don't know. Sports one, probably. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
What do you think about you?
Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay. Yeah.
Which for the longest time,
movie.
For the longest time was the only war movie I'd ever saw.
Yeah.
Up until last weekend, I watched Saving Private Ryan for the first time.
Okay.
It was alright.
Yeah.
And then The Notebook.
Wow. You don't know Tombstone or Gladiator, but you know okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love romantic movies. They're the best. And then Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not the bandwagoners from this last Spider-Man movie who jumped on book.
Which I heard it's great though.
Yeah. But everyone hated Andrew Garfield before.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved him. He's the guy from Hacksaw Ridge.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Cool.
Yeah. But today we're going to be talking about social media.
Yes.
I'm going to dive in. But part of the fun of this podcast is our age difference. You're 60. I'm 24. No. But it did make me think. Social media probably affected us in similar ways, but maybe in different ways too.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with social media.
Yes.
You had a while.
Yeah. Yes.
Without it.
Yes. A long while. Yes.
Yeah. So when did you first get social media?
Oh man, I don't know. It was definitely obviously Facebook. I don't know whenever it came out, I guess, and I was probably even late to the party for that. Yeah.
I got it in 6th grade.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And how many years ago was this?
Maybe 12.
Okay. Yeah, see, I'd have been in my mid-30s already, so yeah, I'm definitely late to the party on that.
What was the effects that you seen once you got on social media? How did it affect the people around you when like Facebook first came out?
Yeah, when it first came out, I mean, it was one of those cool things to catch up, being from a small area. and leaving for a stint, not only for school, but for seminary, living in North Carolina, 8 hours away, all that kind of stuff. You know how it is when you get out of, well, you haven't been out of school at all. Anyway, when you're my age and you're out of school, you just kind of lose touch with folks. And so to kind of reestablish some of those connections, see pictures of their families, things of that nature, that was kind of the fate, and I guess maybe still is, but that was really cool to catch up, that way.
Okay. No negative effects? At that point?
At that point? No, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, for the sixth graders, it was brutal. Because immediately the pressures of, like, you already have social pressure in middle school.
Sure.
And then add on social media where all those rules in middle school that you have to follow, and like the who likes me, do they like me back, all that stuff floods into Facebook.
Yeah.
And so for a guy who doesn't know how to talk to girls in sixth grade, then going and I get a girlfriend and we have social media and it's who sends the relationship status first. Who I remember there's this thing called poking early on in Facebook.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Which is strange. Yeah, when you get a poke
so
from somebody and it's like, I don't know how to take that. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then the middle school kid, there's so much pressure of like, oh my God, what if I don't poke them back in time? All these pressures that are so silly and dumb.
Sure.
But for kids, like, that's everything.
No doubt.
And there's just so much pressure about the type of photos you post and the statuses you post and all that stuff. How have you felt since it's been maybe 12 years? Because I think I got on Facebook pretty early.
Yeah.
How do you feel about social media now?
Like most things, good and bad. I mean, I'm all for anything that, not just from the, catch up with friends kind of thing, but obviously advancing of the gospel, encouraging other believers, spreading the gospel to, I'm all for it. I just think you mentioned it earlier. There's so much self-magnifying when it comes to social media. And so you have, self-promotion and just, a self, like, you post something and your immediate thing is you want to go, a gazillion times to see, okay, how many likes are there? How many views are there? How many, positive comments there are? So that adds to self-worth, feeling like I'm doing what I should be doing or whatever. There's that aspect of it, but there's the self-comparison. I mean, because, who posts? I mean, seriously, I don't care. Like, so I guess they still do it. I get a few of them every year, the Christmas cards. Like, so you get the Christmas cards from the family. It's the perfect picturesque, family with a dog and it, everybody looks great kind of thing. It's like, your Instagram profile. You know what I mean? It's like the picture perfect ideal life. And that's all you see. And so when you see that and you see another family, another marriage, another kids, whatever it is, you're constantly comparing yourself to them just on a picture or a comment.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you have no idea what lies beneath the surface or what took place, behind the scenes or leading up to that. And so there's so much self that's there. And man, one of the things that, really worries me, and not just as a pastor, not just for believers, but for all people, we live in such especially here in the West, 21st century culture that we live in, where it's microwavable relationships. You know what I mean? Like it's instantaneous. So you probably have 2,000 friends on Facebook or whatever, like. But statistically speaking, that I read an article not too long ago that 30 years ago, the average person felt like they had 5 to 6 really close friends. Like I'm talking about, like, they could confide in, was all thick and thin there. They did the same survey today, and the number was down to 3 or 4.
Yeah. So
you can have 2,000 friends on Facebook, but yet the number of actual close friends has declined despite social media. Yeah. And so, again, it's one of the, and even conversations, dude. I mean, being able to interact with someone, because I'm as guilty as anybody. Yeah. I'll send you a text before I'll call you, and we live in this, 120 character, conversation. You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of actually engaging people in conversations. And so that, just a few of the negative kickbacks I see to social media and what that's going to do to us, not only now, but long term.
Yeah, the relationship thing.
Yeah.
That hit, because a few years ago, I deleted all social media
Okay.
because I knew I had this weird relationship with social media. I needed to do some work on myself.
Sure.
So I deleted everything. And one of the things that I realized was how depressed I was because I knew that the friends list on social media wasn't true. Of there are people I'd try to reach out to or be friendly to, and it's like, no, that's weird if you reach out to them, even though you're friends and you like each other's posts. And it was like, dang, that messes with your mind, because then I'm just like, I don't know who's a real friend or not. You know, some of the people I thought were close friends, I'm nowhere on their social media page. I'm like, man, what is the point of social media? Like, it's not real, not even for the people you're close to. Like, it was just weird. And it really caused me to, like, wrestle with, like, my own self-worth and image, because I didn't know which relationships were real anymore. And I didn't know who to interact with online anymore, you know? It's just, yeah. I remember really wrestling with that. And then, but that break of social media, getting off of social media, was so beneficial because I was able to, when I came back, it was a completely different way I handled things.
Yeah.
Because growing up with social media, you're being shaped and formed by that machine, and you don't even know it. And when you finally get off of it, even that first couple weeks, you start realizing how often you go to grab your phone and just scroll numbing your brain. And it doesn't mean social media is wrong. It's just there's so much, it is really deceptive, and it really controls a lot of our everyday without us even realizing it. Like, how often do we get in the grocery store line, and even though we're next, like, the person's about to leave, we immediately grab our phone because we don't like that 5 second of awkwardness.
Sure.
And we click on Facebook and we throw our thumb across the screen real quick. And we're not even really paying attention to what's on there. We're just trying to get through that 5 seconds of awkwardness.
Yeah. And complete transparency, if I'm honest, just about, I mean, I have to make a conscious effort, like in the morning, what is the first thing you do when you open your eyes? Well, obviously I cut off my alarm, but I grab my phone. And so during my first cup of coffee, okay, am I going to spend that time with the Lord, or am I going to grab my phone? Am I going to check out social media? Yeah, just to see what's going on in the world. That's the news feed. You know what? For me, I mean, even though I'm older, it's not click on Fox News or whatever first thing. It's social media. You kind of see what's happening in the world right then. And but it's crazy, and then that's what you go to bed. I mean, it's one of the last things you look at before you close your eyes.
I think that was a big question I wrestled with thinking through this week is, who are we becoming because of social media? Because a huge part of why our culture is the way it is right now is because of social media. I remember hearing some documentary talk about Obama when he was running for president. He used social media that's part of how he won. Was social media was so important to his campaign. He was like a huge pillar of it, which is why he won twice. And he was like the first politician on there, or to really use it, you know. But it's shaping and forming so many of the people around us, and we're seeing it at the dinner tables.
Yes.
And we're seeing it split the dinner tables, and
we're attached to it.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is too, even though I'm the old guy in the room, like, you know, I'm as distracted as anybody. Like when my wife and I go out to eat, I have to make sure I'm not facing a television because I'm constantly looking up, you know, kind of thing. And it is crazy, dude. Just next time anybody's listening, just when you're out to eat, look around. And look around at how many people are actually having conversations and how many people are on their phones.
Yeah.
Like 2 people are sitting at the table and both of them are on their phones.
Yeah.
You know, it's insane. But here's the thing, too. It feeds what we long for, too, Austin. I mean, think about it. Yep. Okay, so we long, if we're completely honest, to be known and to be accepted. I mean, that's what we long for. God created us that way. And so we put out there what we want to be known on social media, and then we crave people to accept it. We want to belong. And so it just feeds that hunger, And then it's also, everybody wants the voice of speak, and it's so easy. I mean, I think we talked about this last week. Instead of having those conversations, difficult conversations, like even you and I are going to have some topics, instead of, hearing your side and why you believe what you believe and walking through that together, if I see a post, I disagree with it, oh man, I can hide behind that screen with a dislike or a comment, and then I can close it and I can move off. But when's the last time you posted something and somebody said something negative and it stayed with you for days?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's crazy because, again, like it's not just something that we just read, but God, who makes us holistic, connects everything: mind, body, soul, spirit, the whole nine. And so I'm as guilty as anybody to replay stuff in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, man, if I could go back and that conversation I had a year ago, boy, I would say that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so bad about that. Well, social media, I've received like Facebook Messenger messages, just these crazy things during the middle of the night. Like, I don't know what was going on in their lives or whatever, but just this stuff. Well, what I have found, dude, just from a practical standpoint, if I don't just delete it, all right, I will be tempted to go back and look at it and analyze it. And even when I'm not, if I'm just scrolling back through, it just comes up. It's like, oh, yeah. And then I relive it.
Yeah.
So delete and release.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to move on from it.
How do you kind of hit on this earlier?
Yeah.
Do you feel like people post that their social media is more negative or positive?
Okay.
Are people posting their best or their worst more?
Ooh, okay.
Because I've wrestled with this.
Yeah, that's a great question. Because I was about to go ahead and give an example, but do they post their best? I think, again, we want people to see what we want them to see, but in the same breath, if there's a hurt, if we struggle with identity, I mean, security, identity, worth. We can talk about that at every topic, but definitely even with social media. So my identity can be my beautiful family and 3 unrebellious, always submitting kids. It could be that, but it could also be a hurt. That can become my identity too.
Yeah.
And I want everybody to see that because that really identifies who I am. So it can be both. So I don't know which one is more, but I would say this too. What do we want people not only to see, the good or the bad, but how it's, how it's received. In other words, so I want you to see what I want you to see, but not only that, I want you to receive it. You know what I mean? Like, not just what it appears to be, I want you to receive it like that is what it is. My entire life is that way. Not just that moment. Representative of my life.
Yeah.
I want to give you the Cliff Note version of my life, but it really represents my entire life.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I've wrestled with this. There's always that critique of people they never throw up them post the picture of them throwing up after the party.
Yeah.
They just post a party. But I feel like the longer I've been on social media, the more I see people not literally putting those pictures up of the throw up, but the worst parts of themselves. Yeah. That's what's going up.
Yeah.
And it's like looked at as heroic.
Yeah.
For you to blast other people and attack them and be hateful and call people like that's being praised.
Yeah.
And then it's like this weird thing of like, well, dang, like I don't know if it's the problem that people aren't honest enough. I think people are being very honest, but it's showing that we just need to do some work on ourselves.
Yeah.
Of what are we, if we're posting a Cliff Notes version of our life, the thing that a lot of people's Cliff Notes is saying is they're hateful, you can't talk to them, and definitely don't disagree with them. Disagree with them, unfriend me.
Yeah.
Which is so silly because, like, who agrees with their friends on anything?
Yeah. And the person that's posting that's probably going to make a comment like, I don't care what anybody thinks.
Yep.
Which is absolutely untrue. I mean, that's the dumb, like, we say stuff like that, like, I don't care what you think about this podcast. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Like, everybody does kind of thing. So, Yeah, I mean, I totally get that. To the negative aspect too, I just think it's so easy for us to make a comment, good or bad, and just move on from it instead of really engage in those conversations.
Yeah.
And again, it can be political, it can be injustice, it can be racial, it can be all different because it's all there on social media.
Yeah.
And everybody's posting something, and some people, yes, they want to post something to push your button. They want to stir stuff up. And I'm always mindful of a couple of things, man. I don't care if it's on social media or in public. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. Like, I as a pastor, dude, I've had to have discussions with some of my members because we're called to be accountable to one another. If I post something and somebody comes up to me and is like, hey, pastor, this is, we need to talk about this. They're holding me accountable.
Yeah.
That's what they're supposed to do, right? I've had it to where I've had to talk to other people because there's this fighting match. And it's really not, it's yelling. Mm-hmm. They're typing, but they're just yelling. You know, there's not a lot of, actual conversation. It's just comments being made. And between two believers. And my thing is, dude, it's your personal page. I mean, I'm not dictating, legalizing, whatever kind of thing. But who do you represent? Well, Christ first and foremost, obviously. And then if you're a leader at the bridge, well, then we got some other accountability issues there. Because not only, are you edifying the body, that is the church, not just the Bridge Church, but the church as the universal church. Is it truly building others up? And then, let's say you got 2,000 friends. How many of those are lost? How many of those are unbelievers? And they're watching this unfold with really no context besides what's on that screen.
Yeah.
And I wonder what they think about that and how it reflects on Christ. Is it worth it?
Yeah. You know this, for years, my Facebook was where we got into some arguments. Like, people, like me and some of the people at the bridge were not on good terms, and it burned a lot of bridges. And I remember it was during the time where I wasn't at the bridge. I was at another church. My mom telling me that people that she knew were scared to talk to me because they thought I was going to be like I was on Facebook. Yeah. They thought I was going to be super argumentative.
Yeah.
My super hardcore views on politics or religion, they didn't fit into the box that I had created that was like, this is what a perfect Christian looks like. And they're just like, okay, well, I can't be around Austin because I'm a fail. I'm not going to live up to his standard. Mm-hmm. And I remember wrestling with that and being like, man, I just burned so many relationships based on these posts on social media that haven't changed anyone's mind yet. And the sad part was that I thought I was doing like the Lord's work of speaking on my views at the time of predestination or Christian or whatever it is. I thought I was 100% right, and I thought me posting what I posted and being like super edgy and controversial and like just giving it to the man, I thought that was what God wanted. And then getting to a place in my walk with Jesus where I wasn't sure if I had been following Jesus for years. Yeah. And a part of it was me looking at my social media and being like, this looks nothing like the Jesus I started following. Who have I been following? Yeah. Which is, it makes you deconstruct your faith. Mm-hmm. And then me going through that deconstruction process and having to refine Jesus and realize that Jesus is slow to speak. He's quick to listen, and he's slow to get angry, and me just being like, oh yeah, if my social media doesn't show that, I need to get off. Yeah. Because I'm not ready for that responsibility. Because it, like, whatever you say, there's a lot of weight that goes into what the Bible says, that the thing about your mouth, it's so quick to I'm losing all track.
Such a small word.
Yeah.
What's that verse?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. James talks about the tongue.
Yes.
Yeah.
The James part.
Yeah.
You got it.
And how powerful it is. Man, a text. All right, here's something. All right, so I got this. You'll love this. A couple of weeks ago, I was having a conversation with somebody about social media, a believer. And they were like, they brought up the great question everybody asks. Okay, well, what does the Bible say about it? Well, 2,000 years ago, obviously, Facebook was been around, what would you say, 12 years kind of thing?
Yep.
But what's really cool, you need to go and read Proverbs 18. Because the Proverbs is just rich, obviously, in wisdom, but it speaks so much. And in that, it talks about in our mouths, in our tongues, in our words, we have the ability to build up or tear down. There's life and death. And right now, 2022, social media, it may not be the tongue, it may be the fingertip, as far as typing or whatever goes, but man, to build up and tear down.
Yeah.
With a simple a phrase, a paragraph, whatever it is, it just is so it can be so divisive. It's not always divisive, but it can be so divisive. In fact, in that Proverbs 18 verse 2, it says, "A fool takes no pleasure in understanding." It's pretty rough. A fool takes no pleasure in understanding, but it says, but only in expressing his opinion.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like, so again, I want my opinions out there, but it says a fool doesn't long for, desire, seek out understanding. So that means the person that disagrees with me.
Yeah.
I want to understand why they believe that.
What you said just made me think of something of the opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We think in 2022, a lot of us, that everyone needs to know every opinion we have. But then something we talked about in our men's group is that Jesus didn't give his opinion on everything.
No.
A lot of times you'd ask him a question and he'd go to he'd answer the question, but not in the way you wanted.
Exactly. It wasn't a brush off, but it sure was not like you hoped,
Yeah.
or like it was asked anyway. Full explanation he didn't give.
Yeah, and so it challenges of like, maybe you don't need to post everything you believe, because context does matter.
Absolutely.
You're not gonna. I've spent years trying to make people agree with me on Facebook. It did not work, and I thought I had some pretty compelling arguments sometimes.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah, but see, that is huge. The word you just said, context, because again, when someone posts something, you don't know the context of their lives they're posting it. I mean, are they coming out of a bad breakup, or are they dealing with depression, or are they on you don't know. You're reading or watching or whatever it is, what's taking place in that moment of their lives. You're not getting context. And so then for you to respond, especially negatively, I mean, what is that doing? Because you don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
It's tough.
That old saying, "You are what you eat," I think plays into social media too. Because a lot of us are whatever we're feeding ourselves on that news feed, it's turning us into people in the outside, in the real world.
Yeah.
And I don't think I think, for years I just thought that you just scrolled numbnessly through Facebook and Instagram and it has no effect on you whatsoever.
Yeah.
And the reality is, if you are constantly reading posts that are full of anger and hate, don't be surprised when you respond to the person in McDonald's line with anger and hate.
Absolutely.
You are what you eat.
Yeah. And I would even say it this way, Austin. Not just you are what you eat, but whatever you feed grows.
Yep.
I mean, that's just true. Like, if you feed something pornography, you feed it, it grows. It will consume you. Social media, again, why is it as you click on more and more, you feed that rascal, it grows. You're going to get all these ads. It's going to take you, because that's what it's designed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And getting back to something I lost track earlier, man, but when you asked me about the good and the bad, I just thought about it when you said that. Are there extremely positive people and things that I see every day on social media? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about just believers. I mean, just good in people. Absolutely. But if you're honest, how many times a day, throughout the day, do you get on social media and spend a few minutes and then put your phone down and think, yes, my hope in humanity's been restored?
Yeah.
I mean, if you literally spent 5 minutes and scrolled down, I mean, there's going to be negativity. There's going to be some stuff that you want to okay, I'm out. I'm done. I don't ever want to see it again. There's been many times where I'm just like, I'm done. Just like you with social media. I'm just, whatever.
Yeah. that even made me think of something too. I was listening to a John Mark Comer sermon today, and he was talking about the word disciple.
Okay.
And disciple just meaning student, apprentice.
Yep.
And he made the point that everyone is an apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
You're either an apprentice to Jesus or you're an apprentice to someone. For a lot of us, it's our social media newsfeed.
Yeah.
And we are being trained and formed and becoming like what we see on social media. And something I had to do was go through the people I follow on whether it's YouTube or podcast or Instagram, wherever, and unfollow some people.
Okay.
Like some people who I'll listen to people who have different points of views. I love that. But it's when we start name calling that I'm like, I'm gonna unfollow you. Or like on Facebook, I like that they do this, is you just it's the difference between unfollowing and unfriending.
Yeah.
You can still be friends.
Yeah.
You just don't have to see their post.
Yeah.
And I just started doing that because the people I want on my newsfeed, I want them
Yeah.
to build me up. I want
No
to be
doubt.
encouraged when I don't want to leave angry or depressed when
That's
I get
right.
on social media. And so that simple unfollow, like you have permission to do that, you know?
It's okay.
And be intentional about who you follow.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to follow everybody. Follow people who you feel encouraged by, who are building you up. And another thing that I started doing was reaching out to those people, even if I don't know them, and just saying thank you.
That's good.
Because a lot of times if we come across something that's encouraging, we just like it and that's it.
Yeah.
But then we all know how it feels to be on social media. You post something and you're like, I don't know if this did anything for anybody.
Sure.
Reach out to them and say thank you.
Yeah.
Let them know that they're appreciated
That's good.
and that you were impacted in a good way
Yeah.
by what they posted.
Yeah, I got called out on that actually a couple of weeks ago, and it was convicting, man. And it was you know how we are though. It was kind of like as a joke, but I don't know if it really was a joke. I won't name call. But they were like, "You never like anything on my Facebook feed, and we're friends," kind of thing. But here's the thing, dude. Like I just kind of laughed it off. But then I thought, well, do I? I mean, because again, if I post something, I'm not above like, oh wow, this guy, X number of likes or whatever, and compare it to something else maybe I post. Like I can post, so I have a special needs child, Bryce, 17. I can post a picture of him with a puppy, and it's through the roof.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like ding, 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 ding. It's just going off bananas, comments, whatever. I put a quote or some scripture on there, and it's like 10 likes. And I'm like, okay, But the thing was, when this person said that, I thought, man, that's how I feel. Am I the one that's just scrolling and just passing it to? Because what if they're feeling that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's some simple stuff, but I love what you just said about engaging them, like just going a step beyond the like or even the comment, reaching out, hey, I really appreciate that or whatever. And here's the other one too, Austin. What if you disagree with them?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to know more. Instead of it being on the news feed or whatever kind of thing, like what if I private message them and just be like, you know what, man, I'd love to grab a cup of coffee or chat on the phone. You
Yeah.
posted something, I'm just kind of curious. I'd love to hear more about it. Not being confrontational, but I just want to know more.
Yeah. That is something too that I started doing was I have some very far left friends on my social media page from high school.
Yeah.
And the reason they were friends with me in high school was because I'm like the only Christian who would go over into that world.
Yeah.
And I know that that meant a lot to them. And so now that our relationship is basically just through social media, I'm seeing all their posts. Sometimes I'm just liking their posts as long as it's not like name calling and being too harsh.
Yeah.
If they're just sharing a point of view, I'll like it and just let them know someone that disagrees with you is listening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
opens up a relationship because then they do the same thing back.
Mm-hmm.
And it blows my mind sometimes when I look at the people who do like some of the posts I have. And I try not to do the political stuff anymore. I'm just like, I want to build people up.
Yeah.
And those people are now messaging me saying, I needed that, thank you. But I know that it probably would have never happened if I never just let them know I'm listening to them first.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yeah.
But impactful. Yeah, I like that. It's good.
Man.
You mentioned a minute ago about making disciples.
Yeah.
9 billion nearly people on the planet. 3 billion of those have never heard the gospel. And so, yes, if we can use I mean, I love the time we live in. I love technology. I love it all. It is what it is, but it can be used for the advancement of the gospel for sure. I mean, if I can post something and put it on whatever platform, and somebody that's literally around the world can watch it and hear the gospel, I'm down with that. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm with it. And then that building up, making a disciple, but again, the social media, it has its place. It cannot be the end all, to that. I mean, we know disciples life on life.
Yeah.
And that's just, social media is not going, it's only going to go so far. Yeah. We know that. So it cannot be replaceable of what Jesus has called us to do in making disciples, but it can be part of it, a small part of it, I think. So I'm not anti. I'm old, but I'm not that old.
I'm close to being anti, but yeah. But no, that was what I was thinking about, was using, when I came back to social media, the sole purpose was I want to get us off of social media. So whoever I'm following or whatever, if we got some type of engagement, expect a direct message saying, will you go get coffee with me? Because I cannot stand the fake friendship on social media. I wanted to get to know the real you.
Yeah.
I want to hear your voice. There's a lot of people from high school, I do not know what their voice sounds like, but I see so much about their lives, and I'm like, I'm missing so much. I want to know, like, I remember this girl I was talking to in high school. I had a crush on her.
Yeah,
I invited her to the youth group Christmas party. When I picked her up for the youth Christmas party, I had only known her from social media. I was so shocked by her voice because it was so squeaky and southern, It just blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get used to this, But it's like, over time, you do get used to it.
Yeah.
You love that squeaky voice,
Yeah.
And the people on social media, the people we disagree with, if we got coffee with them, I think we'd fall in love with them more than we think.
Yeah. And you said something earlier, and I know there's another time and place when we will talk about politics and Christianity, okay? But let me say this. Let's be very careful, because social media, I think, again, is one of those platforms where this just implodes and explodes, is I'm lumping you up in whatever that arena is. So, for instance, politics.
Yeah.
Are you Republican, Democrat, Independent, whatever? And so I'm lumping your whole life in which one you say you're voting for, or if you quote the president. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just so dangerous, dude.
Yeah.
Again, it's getting to know. I mean, if COVID has not taught us anything, because this podcast, social media, I'm all for it, but we know this, man. Presence, that's how God created us, man. I mean, to be literally right here together, life on life. Because as good as social media can be in other avenues, like, it's not the same as being with somebody.
Yeah. In
their presence, getting to know them. And so I would just caution us all, me included, when you see somebody's post or their relationships, that whatever it is, their political allegiance, whatever, don't just disregard, because that may not be your stance or your position. They're made in the image of Christ. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think it's so, again, we can be a Pharisee so easy. We just judge the outside.
Yeah.
Or your post or your profile or whatever it is, and I either decide whether you're worthy of my engaging or not. That's horrible.
Yeah, and I was guilty of that. And when I started realizing, like, the people around me in real life, they didn't have the same opinions I did on Facebook. And I was like, well, that's a disconnect, because I love these people.
Yeah.
They bring so much value, but they vote differently, or they have a different opinion on this. And I was like, oh, you can love people you disagree with.
Yeah.
How crazy. I think Jesus said something like, love your enemies,
Yeah. And he even had, it's got 12 disciples, and one of them is, a zealot, which would be like a modern day terrorist.
Yeah.
And then, right across him is going to be a tax collector. and then you've got you've got this just mixed bag, not just of men from different backgrounds, but yeah, they would have had political stances. They would have had
Well, a lot of them thought that Jesus, even like in the 12, thought that the Messiah was going to do something different than what he did.
Yeah.
And so, but Jesus spent 3 years with them patiently and was like, "You'll figure it out. Man.
Yeah.
Just keep this
after his
relationship
resurrection,
going."
they're still asking.
Yeah.
You got to ask me right before what they're asking like, oh, is now the time, Jesus? Now, like,
Yeah.
set up the messianic kingdom now. Like we want it now. I mean, they still were missing the boat to a certain extent.
And the other thing about the 12 was Judas, the traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus still passed the bread to him
Mm-hmm.
the night before he's going to betray
washed
him.
his feet. Yeah.
And you just think like he knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't remember which gospel it was in. I remember hearing a sermon about it, and I think it was Rich Wilkerson Jr. He said that we should learn from Jesus because when Judas came up to him, either Judas or Jesus called him my friend.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
There wasn't no correction.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, you are.
No.
We'll go to jail now, but you are.
Yeah.
And that's we need to embody that on social media. Is
Yeah. I
looking at the person you disagree with, the person you feel like, even in the real life, that betrayed you or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pass the bread to them.
I'd push that even a little further, Austin. I mean, yes, not only Judas, but how many times do you see in the Gospels where Jesus, these crowds, massive
Yes.
crowds are following? He's a miracle worker. He's a healer. He's an amazing speaker with authority like no one else. And then Jesus would collect these crowds and all of a sudden drop this hard bomb on them, like, you got to eat my flesh and drink my blood, and people disperse. They're like, I'm out. Okay, time to go home. But it's crazy how like Jesus knows they're going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what Judas was going to do. And he still,
Yeah.
he engaged them. He loved them to the max, to the end, to the full. And so for us on social media, like, yeah, if I look through my list, like, and I never done it, I guess, but just to see who's on there, it would be a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got us all together in a room, you even took 10 people, any 10 people on any of my list or any friends, and you put us in the same room and give us 3 topics, and let's see if we agree on all of them.
Yeah.
We're going to disagree.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah. Man. So, to close out,
Yes.
what are some tips you'd give to someone
Yeah.
wrestling with social media?
Okay. Couple of, and this could be, text, email, whatever. I've just learned this. Okay. So we always think about, even in marriage, right? Like, if I do premarital counseling, I talk about fighting fair. And so don't get historical. There's certain parameters, because you're 2 sinners are in one house, you're going to have a fight, right? So fight fair. Don't get historical. Bring up stuff from 2 years ago. Do the same on social media. They said something stupid. You said something stupid 2 years ago. Get over it. You know what I mean? You've owned it. Live on. But the same thing is the communication aspect of it, man. I would say before you hit send, submit, okay, whatever it is, kind of thing. Man, before you do it, maybe you type it up. Maybe you think it, maybe you say it out loud, but don't do it just in that moment. I mean, one of the things, we say, okay, Scripture, obviously, James tells us not to go, not let the sun set on our anger. So we always, we got to hash this out at night. But he's actually quoting from Psalm, which that is part of it, but it also talks about us processing and thinking through. So I think it's both. I think you don't have to rush into, just, I'm in my emotions, so let me hit send or let me speak this, whether if it's out loud. So there's some time of reflection and processing and prayer might be helpful before I hit send. But yeah, I'm sure you've had stuff that you typed up that maybe you erased, and 2 days later you or maybe that day you were really glad you didn't send it.
Yeah, well,
and vice versa. Maybe there's some stuff you sent that you were like, oh, man, I wish I could go back.
Yeah, to add on to that tip,
Yeah.
put it in your notes first.
Yeah.
Sit on it for a while.
Yeah.
Type it out, but just sit on it for a while. See how it feels later. 9 times
See
out
if
of
it's
10,
worth it.
Yeah. 9 out of 10 times when I do that, I delete it. I'm like, it's not as life changing as I thought it'd be, or it's just Yeah.
Because
It's not
again, most of the time, we're seeing it through a feed. We're catching it in that moment. Does it anger you right away? You know, does it tick you off? Well, then you respond that way. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you're going to respond, in anger. And I'm not going to say it's right or wrong kind of thing, but I just think it's extremely helpful to let a little time process it, think through it before you do it. Because again, the repercussions, you know, sometimes of doing that, the collateral damage just isn't worth it. You know?
Yeah. I think another tip to add to that list is take time off of social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do detoxes.
Yeah, it's helpful.
Yeah, that year, it was so beautiful. It was so, like, ignorance is bliss. I wrote that in my notes. There's that saying, we are not designed as humans to have as much information as social media gives us. We're not supposed to be an expert on every topic.
Yeah.
And so sometimes just unplugging and saying, I'm going out without social media for today. I had to do it earlier this week. It wasn't even because of the amount of information. It was just because I kept noticing, I kept checking it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm literally seeing the same post over and over again.
Yeah.
Just turn it off and go read a book.
Yeah.
And I did, and it was so refreshing.
Yeah. And again, dude, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not in the medical field. I will be very intrigued in 10, 20 years from now. Not only social media, but gaming and just tons of stuff that we really immerse ourselves in. I mean, I've got a 15-year-old now who's a huge gamer. But it's crazy how from someone who's, it's almost like, because I am a former addict, how I can see, like, after hours of him gaming, his attitude when he comes out versus when I take it away from him for a while, how it flips. He's more engaging. You know what I mean? But I think social media is that way.
Yeah.
You know, when you like you said, unplug for a little bit, put the phone down, get some vitamin D, engage in some real good conversations. How much help? I mean, again, it's not like it's, you know, this horrible thing, but too much of it. I mean, what is it causing you to do? I mean, how's it causing you to feel? If it's deepening you in depression, then for sure, cut it off.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, people lived for thousands of years without social media. You'll be okay.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of people out there who don't have social media,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm so, like, enamored by them. When I go on someone's social media page and they have one post from like 8 months ago, I'm just like, I would message you to hang out, but I don't think you're on here, man.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't think this is real. Your life, if it's not on social media, did it really happen?
But man, to sum it up, I think the big question is just like, who are we becoming on social media?
Yeah.
And are we representing, do we have the fruits of the Spirit? I think that's a good test.
Yeah.
Like, go through the fruits of the Spirit, look at your posts, look at your life based on what you've been taking in. How is it affecting your life? Are you representing Jesus? Does it look like Jesus is in your life?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would ask, like, is your faith, Austin, strengthened because God's placed you in my life and me in your life? Like, I hope so. You know what I mean? Like, I hope, because I think that's part of it. And same for social media. I mean, you know, is not only what is it feeding me and encouraging me and making me more and more like Christ, but am I doing that to other people that are on there?
Yeah.
Am I being the reflection, the hands and feet of Christ? Am I showing the character of God, like I said, the fruit of the Spirit, via social media and how I respond to people? I tell people all the time, I'll hush after this, Christianity is really easy until you get hit in the stomach.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it's easy to talk about on Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But how you react. Because when you walk in on Sunday morning, you're prepared. You know, it's this kind of like, you know what to expect. But when you get hit, when things are not like you expect, how you respond shows a lot of who you are. And so how I respond even on social media, I mean, what does that say about me and what I really believe about Christ?
Yeah. I say let's end it there. Good?
I'm good.
All right.
Good
Well,
talk.
I'm Austin,
I'm Robbie.
and this was Into the Fray. We'll see you next episode.
Thanks, guys.
This has been another episode of Into the Fray. We want to thank you guys for listening. Please subscribe to the podcast on your podcast feed. We will see you next week for another conversation.